Hi, and welcome back to the Wicked Thrifter resell channel. We're back at it, out at some Goodwill locations and thrift stores in my area, trying to find items that I can sell online for a profit. Here we're in the vase and pottery section. There wasn't much there to take a look at. And here's the dish section, some dinnerware and plates. Excuse the little shaky filming there. These caught my attention. I liked the design on them. I was trying to see what the maker mark was on the bottom, but they had the stickers over them. And they were priced individually, so I decided to just move on to the next item. That little picture looked kind of neat. Looked like a hobbyist piece though. There wasn't a ton that grabbed my attention here. There's this huge art glass bowl back there that I'm going to take a look at. The bottom wasn't polished and it's not signed. It possibly could have been something worthwhile for picking up, but at $12.99 and not knowing who made it, I decided not to. And the size is kind of a deterrent. I do pick this up. It's a vintage pitcher. And at $8.99, it wasn't too bad. I didn't grab it on film very well. I had it zoomed in, but here is a shot of that. This was a neat find. However, I left it behind. The gold was worn off, and the glue you could see underneath it. I wasn't sure if that was the original base or not, but you see there all the fading of the gold paint. Here, some Raku pottery. I didn't know if they were like little trays or dishes. They were signed, but I chose to leave those behind. But I do grab this. This was a really fun find. A Peggy car. This cupcake set in particular sells fairly well for me, and it was only $6.99 and it included a stand, so it was pretty cool. It's signed there I showed you. That should fetch a decent profit as well, especially being at $6.99. These look to be hand painted. I chose to leave those. I'm here in the wood section trying to check it out and see if I find anything interesting. This caught my eye. It was handmade, a vintage toy of some sort, but there was some chipping and I wasn't quite sure what the value would be on that. I chose to leave it behind. I do fairly well with a lot of hand-carved wood pieces, so it would have been wise to look that up, but I thought this was pretty interesting. A double-sided couch. Definitely looked like it belonged in like a restaurant or something like that, a waiting room. I spotted this, however I didn't catch the price initially, even though I'm filming it right there at $19.99. For some reason my head registered $9.99. I still grabbed it because this brand does fairly well. This is kind of a bolo. It's hen feathers. They do a lot of like cast iron or heavy pieces like that. And that was like a rooster or a chicken candle holder. And then I also grabbed these candlestick holders. They are more modern. They are a Hobby Lobby piece. They were $10.99 a piece, but I do grab them. They are Christmas tree taper candlestick holders, and they sell fairly well. So for the set, I expect to get around $99 is what I put on there. Pressed wood like this can do fairly well. If there had been a second one, I probably would have grabbed it, but one single candlestick holder at $8.99 didn't appeal to me. I picked this up. I ended up looking this up because it kind of intrigued me. It was a candle bouquet. So it just needs one candlestick and you can put it in there, and then it has 7 arms on it. It has a little bit of a bend to it, but they seem to sell fairly well, so I thought I'd give it a shot. Now this I'll list eventually. They only wanted $4.99, but someone had turned it into a candle, and I'll use the candle and then I'll clean it out and then I'll list it for sale later. There was an art glass vase in amber color, but it had a chip on the top, so I chose to leave that behind. I believe this is Deruta pottery in Italy, but they had some chipping on it and I chose to leave it behind. If it hadn't been chipped, I definitely would have grabbed that. They have a decent sell-through rate. Here I spotted an enamel picture frame, a Christmas tree picture frame. I was tempted to grab it, but at $6.99, the profit was kind of smaller on that item. I'd expect it to sell between $18 and $20, maybe $22. I like the look of these angels. They gave me like a Hummel feel to it. Obviously, it's not. It's a Japanese piece, but with the set, I thought maybe they would do well. But at the price point they were asking for, getting the 4 of them wouldn't have been ideal. Just checking out the figurine section. There wasn't a ton. They had a lot of things that I wouldn't pick up, so they seemed a little bit fuller than some other stores that I've been to recently where the shelves are pretty bare, but they had a lot of stuff, but just nothing that intrigued me. I thought these were really nicely done, but the style, I wasn't quite sure. Initially was going to grab them just to see how they did, but I ended up putting them back at $3.99. I wasn't sure. The steins or those type of goblets don't sell fairly well for me. Don't sell very well for me. I spotted this fused glass plate here. It would have been really cool to pick this up before Valentine's Day. It wasn't signed and there wasn't any maker indication on it. I chose to leave it behind for now just because the size, it'll take a while for that to sell, and it probably would have been I think $14 probably what would be the sell price. And that's some art pottery, art or studio pottery. And there's some carved wood figurines up here. I left those behind. And some more pottery. A little child's mug. This looked interesting. It looked like newspaper or book print made into a figurine. And then, had this been a little bit cheaper, I probably would have grabbed that hen on nest. These look like little sake mugs. I was looking to see if they had a handmade quality to them, so I was kind of looking them over, but I didn't see any information on it. And then just kind of scooping out the shelves or scoping out the shelves again. Not seeing a ton. They had items down at the bottom that I was trying to get a better glimpse at, and then I do spot one piece that I should have put back right away had I saw that there had been damage on the leaf. It is a Heather Goldbank piece, a Blue Sky Clayworks. Is an October birthday cake, but there was a big chunk taken out of one of the flowers, so I put that back. Unfortunately, couldn't pick that up. And then I spotted these bird tile trivets. They have attached stands on them, and they were only $3.99 a piece, and I chose to sell them as a set. I currently have them listed for $39.97, and I expect that they'll sell around $32 to $39. I haven't been picking up as many tiles or trivets because the price on those have come down. If I can lot them up, that's a different story. This is one of the trinket boxes. It's not, I think, enclave. I'm not sure how to say that. I end up leaving that behind. Just some of them can do fairly well depending on the subject matter of the image on the top and the color. And I wasn't sure about this orange color, so I end up putting that back as well. I don't take that with. And here they have some more items on the shelf. Some crosses. There's probably a Noritake piece down there. Some candle holders. And a little glass swan. I end up not picking this up as well. It's for some people, they can sell these and they can get a decent return on them. That one looked a little bit nicer done than most that I find, but I chose to leave it behind. There's a Scentsy unicorn warmer or melt warmer back there. And just some more figurines, some willow tree. I don't really pick those up very often. If they have the box, I'll take a look at them. But I haven't been able to find any that sell for a decent profit compared to what they are trying to sell them for in the store. I wasn't sure what that was. And here we're at another Goodwill, and I'm looking at the vase section. This was a glass piece, very heavy, and then also this art pottery vase as well. It definitely wouldn't have been able to hold water as there was seams and stuff in there. I do grab this. I have yet to list it because I'm kind of torn. I might want to keep this for myself. Little smiley cat trivet. And then I also found these and I haven't listed them yet. It's a little pewter horse and a sword letter opener. So that should be hitting the store soon. I was looking to see if I can make the mark there. That's definitely a USA pewter piece, but there was no markings on the sword letter opener that I could find as of yet. And here I'm checking out the wood section. I've been finding a lot of rose mailing pieces, so keep an eye out for those. They tend to sell well. This is a Yellowstone National Park souvenir piece. It was a bear in a crate. Sorry for the close-up there. I had it zoomed in. I ended up putting that back, and then I also ended up putting back this, is it Sango? But it's a cactus, ironwood cactus sculpture. They wanted $4.99, and the prices come down on those as well. Before I could get those and sell them easy for $40, but now it looks like, depending on the size and the quality, you can get probably 18 to 20, maybe 24 for them. But I do pick up these vintage brass angel candle holders at $3.99 a piece. I already have watchers on this, so it should sell fairly fast. I've seen this in past videos where I've looked at this before and didn't pick it up, but this time I actually took the time to look it up. It's a burl wood knot type candle holder, handmade, and it's signed, so I picked that up. Here I'm checking out some vases. These looked newer, not as old as I would have wanted, so I end up not grabbing those. Little glass vase with some hand painted flowers on them. And I think up above they had some bottles. They're made in Spain. You'll see them here in a second. But I ended up not grabbing any of those. Initially I had put this hand-blown vase in the cart, but I couldn't figure out who the maker was on it, and it looked a little too weird for me. I ended up leaving it at the store. This is also another bottle that I saw. It had a blown like eggplant or fruit inside. I remember putting it back. But this is the bottle I was talking about. They wanted $6.99 a piece. They're handmade or made in Spain. I don't know if they're handmade. And this was a pottery stoneware teapot or coffee pot or server. I did check these out before I left. I ended up putting them back because there was chipping on the underside of the lids. So make sure you're taking that off and checking the insides to see if there's any damage that's hidden. This I chose to leave behind. It's like an enamel brass vase. And here I'm checking out some more vases. And then the coffee mug section or cups. Trying to see if there's any art pottery mugs. Those are pretty much the only type of mugs that I'm picking up, with a few exceptions when I find them. And the glassware, these definitely had a vintage vibe to them. I've picked them up in the past, but at $3.99 a piece, there's no way I would grab those. These looked vintage, but they looked more modern once I grabbed them, like a reproduction or a remake of that style. Some ceramic Easter eggs. The Easter section. It's not too far away, so at this point it's probably too close for me to pick up anything for Easter to sell it. But it never hurts to look. You can sometimes find some gems, and if you have the space and the time, you can always grab it and save it and list it next year for Easter. Some more figurines. Here the shelves were a little more sparse than the other place. They didn't have a ton. A lot of this stuff we've seen in past videos. I thought those might have been the Italian, like, nativity angels, but they weren't. This is pretty neat. A little piano music box. It had the keys and a little place for, like, music sheets. Really neat. Little heart trinket box, but at $2.99 I thought that was a little high. I ended up leaving that behind. I was going to grab it originally, but I couldn't get it open, and I decided to just put that back on the shelf. Here are a lot of precious moments. Looks like someone donated their collection or part of their collection. I've been coming across them a lot more frequently than I used to. Used to be just a couple here and there, but I think I'm going to start looking into them. There's got to be some of those elusive pieces that are worth decent amount of money, especially if they have the box. Maybe I should start looking those up. And there's a little interesting moose handmade piece. But I think that's going to wrap it up for us. If you have any questions, just drop them down below. Otherwise, let me know maybe if I missed something that you think has a decent value. I appreciate your time. If you can, please like, comment, or subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great week. Bye.